The Bitter Taste of Two. In the small village of Akure, nestled in the heart of southwestern Nigeria, there lived a very handsome man named Ayo. He was known for his wealth, gentleness, and playful nature. His lifestyle made him influential and earned him love. Everyone in the community wished to be like him. But Ayo had a big problem. He always felt empty inside because he had no children. Though Ayo had one wife, Funmi, whom he loved dearly, one morning he decided to visit his uncle Jide to seek his advice. When the uncle saw him, he was very excited and called him my son. "Why are you here so early?" he asked. Ayo greeted him as tradition demanded and said, "Uncle, I can't bear it anymore." Ayo shared how he felt with his uncle Jide, who smiled and said, "That is never a problem. Just marry another wife, and that will solve the problem." Ayo echoed in his mind. "Another wife?" Ayo said to his uncle, "You have one wife. Why should I marry another woman?" "In our family, that has never happened before." His uncle smiled and said, "Dear son, that is the way out." Ayo replied, "I have heard you, uncle. Let me think about it." But as time passed, he began to feel the weight of loneliness. When Funmi the wife was sick for a long time, his uncle Jide sent a message for him to come. Ayo remembered that he had not visited his uncle or replied to him since his last visit. 2 days later, he visited his uncle, who was not happy with the situation he found him in. All he said to him was, "Be a man, my son." Ayo went back home and decided to take his uncle's advice. One early morning, as Ayo was going to his farm, he saw a beautiful lady being chased by 2 boys from the nearby village. Ayo stopped them and asked what the matter was, but the 2 young men had no answer. Luckily for the lady, the 2 young men knew Ayo, and one of them said to the lady, "Your God has saved you. If not for this man, you would have been hurt." Ayo called the lady and said, "Young lady, what is your name?" "And what happened?" Due to shock, the lady fell down. Ayo shouted for help, but no one was found. He carried her home and told his wife to take care of her. After a while, the lady recovered. Ayo's wife fed her and gave her water to bathe. In the evening, Ayo came from the farm and saw that the young lady had fully recovered. Then he said to her, "Please, young lady, can you tell me what happened and where you are from?" She replied, "My name is Neoma." As she was telling her story, Ayo realized that Neoma's father is an Igbo man who had taught him how to do palm oil business in Aba. Ayo said in a loud voice, "Wow, that means indeed what goes around comes around," he said to himself. "This is the wife I'm looking for." But he never told his wife what he was planning to do. Ayo said to his wife, "I'll take her home." And his wife replied, "No problem." A day after, being market day, Neoma was ready to go back home. Ayo bought a few things for her as he took her home. When they got to Neoma's compound, her family was so excited to welcome her and Ayo, but unknown to Neoma's father, Ayo was a longtime friend. As they began to introduce each other, Neoma's father remembered Ayo as a young man who wanted to do oil business. Straight away, Ayo told him that he wanted to marry his daughter. Emeka, Neoma's father, was so happy to hear that. A few months later, Ayo married Neoma. He was so excited, and his village people gathered to celebrate him. But little did he know that it was another face of his challenges. The first 6 months, Walma became pregnant and started seeking all the attention towards herself. She no longer respected anyone and also wanted things done in her own way. Ayo became more confused and worried. He said, "God, why me? I took the advice of my uncle, and now look at where I am." He shook his head, stood up, and went to sleep in the room of his first wife, night after night. His first wife became pregnant after many years of marriage and gave birth to twins. Instead of becoming one big happy family, the second wife started crying, saying she was the one who brought a child to this family, and why couldn't she be the one to have more children? Their compound became a war zone, fighting day and night. One day, as Ayo was trying to settle a fight between his 2 wives, he fell down and hit his head on the floor. They took him to their village hospital and dropped him there. No one was taking care of him apart from doctors and nurses. On his sickbed, he called his 2 wives and children and said to them, "Soon you will see me no more. But on no account should any of my children marry 2 wives." The room fell silent, heavy with the weight of Ayo's regret. His children looked at each other, vowing not to repeat their father's mistakes. As Ayo took his last breath, Funmi and Neoma held hands, united in their sorrow and determination to move forward, free from the shadows of their past. Ayo's story spread like wildfire. a cautionary tale about the dangers of polygamy and the importance of communication. Love and understanding in marriage. Many men in the village who had once envied Ayo's family now whispered words of warning to their sons.